Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Canberra Football Show. Joining me today is a very special guest, Darren Bailey from Yoogali Soccer Club. Darren, how's it going today? Thank you so much for joining me, and obviously an absolutely massive weekend.
Yeah, it's been great. Big weekend for the club, and with 23s and first grade, we got two great results, which set us up perfectly to sign off the regular season in style, which was magic.
Now, I'm going to bring up a quote here that Luke Santolin reminded me that he told me 3 years ago when I had a chat to him. He said, Yoogali aren't here to make up the numbers. And he messaged me that this weekend to remind me, and I completely forgot that we had that convo. So I thought I'd bring it up here. Shout out to Luke as well. Obviously, do you echo those same sentiments? Obviously, first season back in Canberra, won the league, but it was a COVID year, so no promotion. 3 years later, you've done the exact same. Now you've got promotion.
Yeah, it's brilliant. As Luke said, it's ingrained into the club to be successful, and obviously, COVID year they nearly nicked it at the end. It would have just been a nice little winner, you know what I mean? But that happens, and then the other two COVID years, there was nothing, and even last year was a hard fought season. That the results didn't go quite the way the club was looking for, and if a couple of goals here, a couple of goals there, it went other ways, then points would have been different ways, and would have been higher up in the league. But that didn't happen, and I think coming into this year, obviously I moved home and obviously signed back up for the club that first brought me out here, and really better, and then that's brilliant to see.
Yeah, you mentioned it there, the Yoogali being the first club that brought you out here. Can you talk a little bit about your history with football in Griffith for those who don't know Yoogali, Riverina Rhinos, etc.?
Yeah, so obviously I moved here in 2015 and played for Yoogali for 4 years through to 2019 when I moved to Canberra. But obviously during that time, I also played for the Riverina Rhinos, who were in NPL 1 at the time, and we'd play Saturday, Sunday. Like a bunch of us would play Saturday for Rhinos and play for Yoogali on the Sunday, just because that's what we made it work, and we wanted Yoogali to be successful in what they were doing, as well as trying to get the Rhinos going. And obviously that fell through, and Rhinos took their Yoogali took the license off them. And like I said, it's not been an easy slug. Numbers are always hard to come by in Griffith, with younger boys going away on uni and school and stuff. So the challenge has always been to have that big enough base to have a 23s and a first grade. And this year we managed to build on our 23s, and they've done brilliant. They come second this year in the final game, and they've just pushed the club to a new level that let first grade lead by example. But without them there to back us up and help us not have players playing 2 games a week or backing up, it's been a big difference. And I think you can see the quality that Griffith has going forward. It's great to see.
Yeah, and talking about sort of backing up and bigger squad numbers as well this year, you guys have really impressed traveling on the road, which you mentioned Yoogali weren't able to achieve as much last season. Is that something you guys sort of like stress throughout the year, or you just try to organize that sort of, inspiration to go on the road and try and get, as many results as you can, just like you do at home, which will be my next question?
Yeah, of course. I think it was put to the club at the start of the year with the boys that, our away form hasn't always been the strongest, and at the end of the day, that's what kind of can let you down. It's a big ask. We've traveled 11 times this year, and we obviously started the year off losing the first 2, and then went on a really good run. Obviously a fair few of them were at home, but you still got to win them. So people will say, oh, they won these at home, but every other team had as many home games as us, and didn't manage to win all of them at home. So it's a credit to the boys to do that. But the away form, we dropped a few points here and there, but we're very consistent into where we've been, and to get points on the road is always hard. So to have that big squad for 23s, and we always had a fresh 11 for first grade, and the bench was always people who had just played. So it to do it under that circumstances as well is pretty special.
It certainly is. And you mentioned the home form. I can't remember sort of the last time I saw a team that didn't drop a single point at home. So how important was that if you guys were aiming for that promotion to get maximum? I mean, granted, aiming for all points is very difficult in a season, but you were able to do it.
Yeah, mate, I don't think I've been at a club since I moved here that's done it. You know what I mean? Like at this level, even back home, it's very hard to do because teams are very good. Teams are good at nicking points or grinding out a draw or whatever it was, and we just found the formula, and it probably came to 5 or 6 games in, and we were on that good run, and we hadn't dropped any points, and there was a couple of mentions of that was it. We've made this place really hard to come to, and we don't even drop any points. We aim to win every game, and we managed to stick by that. And even with injuries throughout the year that every team gets and people being away, it happens. But if you can grind out your home games, like if you can make that place hard for anyone to come to, it's a great way to start your season, and it's a great way to base your season off if you look to be successful.
It certainly is. Now, obviously, you've achieved the main goal promotion, the league title. What is the mindset heading into finals?
Yeah, it's brilliant. We've done the essentially we've done the hard work. 21 rounds, to be consistent for 21 rounds is always the hardest job of the year. And then luckily in MPL2 or in CPL Premier League, sorry, it means promotion. So it's the biggest thing that you can do in our league, at Canberra Premier League. So it's one job ticked off, but we continue to build and grow, and we're a squad full of winners, and that's the mentality going into this weekend and into everything. We always want to win everything. Otherwise, why do you play?
Very good answer there. Now, obviously, MPL next year, you have that MPL experience as well. Going into it, sort of a double part question. What is the word from you in terms of just generally to the squad about MPL next year? And for those who might not have followed CPL this year, what are Yoogali going to bring to the top flight of Canberra football next year?
Yeah, I think it's great to get promoted, and we're going to go up there to challenge ourselves. It's a super challenge that MPO is obviously the best standard that you can get in this league, and to get promoted is brilliant. So for any club to get there and to take that promotion is a super jump. It's obviously like the standards definitely that step higher, which is brilliant because then you test yourself and you know where you're at. You don't want to just be the as they say, the big fish in a small pond. You want to strive to be greater, and that's what we're going for. And I think the club's set up for success, and we've proved that this year. Coming from a small country town to go with the best of them, and push everyone to the limit. And it's been a joy to see. I obviously played in MPL last year, and I think the boys can be competitive. If we can bolster the squad a little bit and keep the numbers up for both grades, it's only good things to come. And it's always a challenge that you've always got to look for, right?
That is certainly correct. Now, final question. Obviously, there's plenty of community support out there in Griffith for you guys. So what would you like to say to the supporters, sponsors, volunteers, and everyone else involved behind the scenes of the club after this fantastic achievement?
Without them, it's impossible to do. Clubs like are always built on the volunteers and the people doing canteen and the kit, people washing the kits, people washing the supplies. Everything all links together, and it's like we say it's 21 rounds, but really it's not. We've started in January, and we're now here in September. Like it's a long slog, and you know everyone has chipped in, and at Yoogali we couldn't be prouder of everyone that the effort that everyone's put in. And like I said, without them, without the sponsors, the volunteers, the players, you don't get the success that we've had this year. And you know, on the weekend you could see that everyone was down there, everyone in the club after, you know, getting amongst each other, and the joy that you could see on people's faces. It's just such a big achievement to do, and you know, it just hit home a little bit that, you know, we managed to do something that not a lot of teams will be able to do.